Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुर्वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna devotees, welcome back to our weekly Chaitanya Charitamrita sessions. And today we will be continuing from Madhya Lila chapter 20th, text 284 onwards. I will share my screen and then we will start the discussion. So the discussion is how uh, the discussion is between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami. Previously, we have seen on in Dashashmedha Ghat how Lord Chaitanya instructed Rupa Goswami for 10 days, and then he has come to Varanasi, and parallelly Sanatana Goswami he escaped from the Nawab Hussain Shah and crossing rivers, mountains, day and night running. He reached Varanasi and at the house of Chandrasekhara he meets Lord Chaitanya. And now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts Sanatana Siksha, and this is the discussion during the Sanatana Siksha, wherein it all starts from Sambandha Jnana, Videya Prayojana, like that. So it starts from the Sambandha Jnana. In that context, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is getting into details about the different rasas. We saw the different 5 rasas, primary rasas, and in detail, elaborately, quite many verses about each rasa there was discussion. Going onwards, then recently what we are covering is the different Purusha avatars. In the different Purusha avatars, Mahavishnu is covered. So the understanding is in the Goloka Vrindavana, if we see there are different layers. That is, we have the Vaikuntha planet, and in that all the devotees of that kind of rasa are there. Everybody has a Chaturbhuja form. Above that, we have the Dwaraka, Mathura, and the different Ayodhya. The different we have Ayodhya of in the spiritual world. We have Mathura in the spiritual world, Dwaraka in the spiritual world, and above all is Krishna Loka, the topmost of existence. where Krishna is eternally happily playing his flute and happily having pastimes with his Gopa and Gopi friends. Expansion of him is Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. And expansion of expansion is then we have the uh, Mahasankarshana. Mahasankarshana's expansions are Mahavishnu, that is Karana Udaka Vishnu, Garbha Udaka Vishnu, and Kshirodakshai Vishnu. The three Mahavishnu avatars, they are the three Purusha avatars. And we understood that how Mahavishnu, who is also called as the Karana Udaka Ocean, Karana Udakashai Karana Udakshai Vishnu, who lies in the banks of the Karana Udaka Ocean. And then when he glances over the Mahatattva, then by his glance, the Mahatattva gets agitated and everything starts in motion, and then how the different living entities are produced. We understood that, and main point in that is Mahavishnu never comes in touch with the material modes, although he interacts with the material energy through his glance and impregnates the material pradhana, the Mahatattva. Nonetheless, he does not directly associate with the Mahatattva, or he does not directly associate with the material energy. So these are little technical. In exact, we may not be able to understand, and that's all right. Nonetheless, we should have an idea what's happening. So when we so this Mahavishnu, he'll be breathing, and from the pores of his body, millions of universes are produced. And when he exhales, the different universes are produced, and that is the birth of those universes. And when he inhales, the universes enter back into his body, and that is what happens in the universe as annihilation. That is, we have this universe. It has, for us, it is a very, 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 very billions of years before this universe was created, and it is ongoing because we are almost in the 50th day of Brahma. And one day of Brahma, we know one Kali Yuga, 4,32,000 years. Double of that is Dwapara, double of that is Treta, double of that is Satya. So that is some 18 lakh some years. That forms one Yuga cycle. 1,000 Yuga cycles form one Kalpa, and 1,000 of that Kalpa forms one day of Brahma, and like that it forms one night of Brahma. And Brahma lives for 100 years, and now his 50 years is over. In that calculation, if you understand also, it's a very long period that we are still existing in this particular universe. But for Mahavishnu, he has just exhaled and he is in the process of inhaling. When he inhales for us, 100 years of Brahma will get over. So something which is very incomprehensible. We cannot fit in our limited brain, because our brain has a fixed capacity to understand things, and it becomes a little hard. Nonetheless, when we have faith in the scriptures and when we have faith in the Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, then we understand that how insignificant we are. But nonetheless, however insignificant we are, still we have the ability and possibility, by the mercy of Krishna, by mercy of Guru, by mercy of the understandings of the Shastra, that we insignificant creatures can still be a part of that topmost planet, Krishna Loka, and we can be situated in the eternal service of that Supreme Lord. So that is the inconceivable. That is how big we can say, or how small we can say. That is how it is. Because we may be very, very, very insignificant, but still we have an opportunity to be there. And that is all through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, because he has drawn a path for us. However insignificant we are, still through by following the process sincerely and sincerely, and not being very selfish without inferior motives, like that it is told, uh, we can still be a part of that eternal Lila. So going forward, the discussion of Mahavishnu is over, and now we are moving on to uh, the next, that is a Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. There are three Purusha avatars: Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So the discussion continues. Devotees, you can raise your hands. Arun Gupta Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, धन्यवाद, प्रणाम। सही पुरुषा अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांड सृजिया एके एके एक एका मूर्ते प्रवेशिला बहु मूर्ति होइना। ट्रांसलेशन बाय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। After creating the total number of universes which are unlimited, Mahavishnu expanded himself into unlimited forms and entered into each of them. Hare Krishna.
See, now Mahavishnu, he, by the force of his body, the unlimited universes are created. So he is the Lord of all those universes. And that Mahavishnu is the plenary portion of the plenary portion of Krishna. So we understand the context like that. So now this Mahavishnu, after creating those universes, expands himself further into each of those universes. Sumati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Davats.
प्रवेश करिया देखे सब अंतकारा, रहिते नाही स्थाना करिला विचारा। Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Mahavishnu entered each of the limitless universes, he saw that there was darkness all around and that there was no place to stay. He therefore began to consider the situation.
So he entered into those universes actually which are created by him, and then he sees darkness there. Next, Padmini Mataji. Padmini Mataji. Okay, Shobha Mataji, you tell. You decide.
हरे कृष्ण दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी।
Davats.
निजंगस्ते था जले ब्रह्मांधात भरिला सेई झाले शेषा सयाया शयन खरिला। Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. With the perspiration produced from his own body, the Lord filled half the universe with water. He then lay down on that water on the bed of Lord Sesha. Haribol
So, Mahavishnu, by his own desire, he enters the universes, he sees the darkness, and by his own desire, he fills half of the universe with water. And Anantasesha is also there. Whenever Vishnu is Anantasesha as his eternal servants, always is ready to serve him. He comes, the thousand hooded Anantasesha comes there, and coils of Anantasesha, our Mahavishnu lies down. So so he has expanded himself into each and every universe, and in every universe this happens. And this is the typical we have seen in the pictures how Lord Ananta is there and how Mahavishnu is lying down. So this is something like Ananta Vallabha temple at Thiruvananthapuram. These are the that there it is said that Mahavishnu means Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is lying down like that. So that is a kind of something if we have to think in our mind, that is how it happens. Padmini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी,
Danda.
दंडवत प्रणाम। तांजाना भी पद्मा हैते उठिला एक पद्मा सही पद्मे हैला ब्रह्मारा भ्रमरा जन्मा सद्मा। Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. A lotus flower then sprouted from the lotus navel of that Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. That lotus flower became Lord Brahma's birthplace. Thank you,
We
Mataji.
know that typical Sri Vaishnava temples, we have this picture where Vishnu is lying down, and from his navel we have that one long stem, and on the top of that stem there is a lotus flower, and then we see the picture of Brahma. So this lotus flower is apparently the birthplace of Brahma, and that is what is being described. So this Vishnu who lies down on the waters of his own perspiration and on the coils of Anantasesha is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Arun Gupta Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। सेई पद्मा नाले होइला चौड़ा भुवन Teho Brahma Hana Shrishti Karila Shrijana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. In the stem of that lotus flower, the 14 worlds were generated. Then he became Lord Brahma and manifested the entire universe. Hare Krishna.
So this is very interesting. See, now we are talking about one universe, that universe which we are existing, and this universe has 14 planetary systems. Now, all the universes which were produced by the uh, exhalation of Mahavishnu are not like this only. They are all different sizes and different types, and the Brahmas are of different categories. Here, our Brahma who sprouted from this lotus flower is four-headed Brahma, Chaturmukhi Brahma. But 10-headed Brahmas are there, 12-headed Brahmas, apparently 1,000-headed Brahmas are also there, it seems. So the size of the universes, the variety, the variegatedness, the complications that we are unaware of. What we are aware of is our theoretically our universe, and that itself is very difficult to comprehend. So magnanimity of the spiritual world, the complexity of the spiritual world is much, much, much bigger than what we think about our rockets and spacecrafts, and then we launch this. Absolutely, it's like jujube. It's like a toy. But that is how understanding goes. Means we are not belittling the efforts of anybody or anything. But when we think, when there is it's a comparison is made, that is how it appears actually. So now on this the stem of this lotus flower are the 14 planetary systems, and when Brahma was created in this universe there was nothing. Then later this Brahma meditates on that Vishnu because he does not know what to do now, and then all the now the Srimad Bhagavatam starts now. Srimad Bhagavatam Manu, how Brahma was there, then how he prayed, and then how Lord gave him the intelligence, and then how he was blessed, and then how the creation came into existence, and how Manu was created, and from him son and daughter, and then the generations and all those Prajapatis, all that happens after this. First, this is what happens. There was nothing in the universe, and then Brahma is the one who different kind of species were created by Brahma, animals and this, that, and then places for them to live. Everything was created by Brahma. So the primary created in the sense it was all existing, it was brought into manifestations. It was brought into manifestations because during the night of Brahma, everything was in annihilation state. No, so everything was brought into manifestation, and that way Lord Brahma becomes a secondary creator in that sense. But otherwise, Brahma brings the universe in what we see, the different species, everything comes to their manifested form when Brahma, after Brahma is created. First, who is created is Brahma. Padmini Mataji, 289.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Vishnu Rupa Hanakare Jagatapalane Gunata Vishnu
Gunatita Vishnu Sparsha.
Gunatita Vishnu Sparsha Nahi Mayasane. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. In this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his form of Vishnu maintains the entire material world. Since he is always beyond the material qualities, the material nature cannot touch him.
So just now we told that how Vishnu, for him there is he is a creator, means through him everything gets manifested, but he does not get touched by the material energy. He is always beyond, his position is always transcendental. So you read the purport also.
Okay, Mataji. The influence of material energy cannot touch Lord Vishnu, as she touches Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva.
She is Maya. She is
she touches
that she is material energy.
Acha. What is this, Mataji? Therefore, it is said that Lord Vishnu is transcendental to the material qualities. The incarnations of the material qualities, the Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, are under the jurisdiction of the external energy. Lord Vishnu, however, is different. In the mantras of Rig Veda, it is said, Om Tad Vishnu Paramah Padam, Paramam Padam. Rig Veda, Veda Samhita 1.22.20. The words Paramam Padam indicate that he is transcendental to the material qualities. Because Lord Vishnu is not within the jurisdiction of the material qualities, he is always superior to the living entities who are controlled by the material energy. This is one of the difference between the Supreme Lord and the living entities. Lord Brahma is very powerful and a living entity, and Lord Shiva is even more powerful. Therefore, Shiva is not accepted as a living entity, but at the same time, he is not considered to be on the level of Lord Vishnu. Thank you, Mataji Harmi.
So hope it is clear. The purport Prabhupada tries to write as clear as possible. Thing is, now Lord Vishnu, he is transcendental to the material qualities. That we know that we have the material qualities, and more main modes are mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And Lord Vishnu is untouched by them, and his position is always beyond it. That is transcendental. Because his position is beyond the material modes, he is always the controller of the material qualities. But material energy cannot control Lord Vishnu. Now the material qualities, they have their incarnations, or they expand, they have their mode of passion and ignorance, and the incarnation of the material qualities, that personification of mode of passion and ignorance, that is Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Now they are, means the point is, Lord Brahma is endowed with the mode of passion because he has to create. For creation, that level of passion is required. And for Lord Vishnu, for Lord Shiva, as a service, there is the winding of place for service also. That is, this is the annihilation that has to take place. And for that, he is endowed with the material quality of ignorance. But so in one sense, they are living entities, but Lord Shiva cannot be, Lord Brahma is a living entity, topmost living entity. That is very clear. But Lord Shiva is, we cannot call him as a living entity because he has more gunas than living entity, but he also cannot be considered as Vishnu Tattva because he has been, he accepts the material quality of ignorance for service. So he accepts the material quality. So we cannot consider him as Vishnu Tattva, but he has much more gunas and he is much more superior to living entity. So he cannot be put into living entity category also. So he is above living entity, but not Vishnu Tattva. So this is what has been explained here.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, I have a question. Can I ask now? Or?
Yes.
Mataji, Brahma and Shiva, when Vishnu, they are mentioned as the guna avatars of the Lord. So, but here, like if he's saying Brahma and Shiva is the living entity, so how do we understand them, Mataji? Because they are also affected by the modes of material nature. Because Brahma is like considered as the most pious in the universe, in the particular universe, most pious living entity. But at the same time, other Brahma and Vishnu and Mahesh is also called as the guna avatars of the Lord.
Okay. So now what's the question?
So how do we understand Mataji? He's also avatars, but then he's also living entity. Brahma.
See, when this means topmost, when we consider, like when we are separating based on which are affected by the material modes, not affected by the material modes. So if we consider as not affected and then affected, not affected becomes everything is living entity. In that, now Lord Vishnu expands himself. That is, Brahma is one of the topmost Shakti avatar only of the Lord. But it is, he has endowed with that particular material quality. So they come into category of living entity. But see, for us, see, when we consider our level, for us, they are like the Supreme Lords. But when we see from that position, based on the how they get it affected by the material world, or means for service, see, for that purpose. See, now if we go further in the different purpose, we will come to know that Lord Vishnu does the maintenance. So he is in the mode of goodness. He is in the mode of goodness in that way. But this goodness is not, but he is not affected. See, it is told like that. So Vishnu does not get affected, but he is always in the mode of goodness. So when you say Gunavataras, now Vishnu is a mode of goodness only. And it is Shiva and Brahma or material who are in the mode of passion and ignorance. So they are the topmost, means we cannot compare with us that we are also living in it. They are also, we are also, but the guna, see, now there are 64 qualities. Out of that, Brahma has more than 50. What we have is 2, 3, 4 maybe, or means understood what I'm telling. So that way he is much, for us he is supreme only. But if we see from the top down approach, if we see, he's a living entity. Understanding? That is the difference. Now, Lord Shiva, soul it is told, Lord Shiva is not living entity. He's not Vishnu Tattva also. So it is like further the explanation comes that how milk, if we consider as Vishnu, and then milk, when it has a little curd when we add, it becomes curd. So curd cannot be called as milk, but curd is like milk. So Vishnu, Shiva is considered like that. Kshiram yatha dadi vikara vishesha yoga sanjayate naitata apitadvadhettu. So Shiva is like that, means he is the supreme Lord, but he is not Vishnu Tattva, like that.
Yes, Mataji, because I've heard Shiva Tattva is a separate Tattva
Yes.
for Shiva. But actually, I was more confused on the Brahma position, Mataji.
Brahma is the topmost living entity only, but so it is told that we, like us, when we can refine ourselves up to the position of Brahma also. Because up to 50 qualities we can have. We cannot have more than 50. There are 64 qualities. Now, out of 60 to 64, last 4 are only for Krishna. And up to 56 is Shiva can have. 56 to 60, that extra 4 is Vishnu. So we cannot get between 50 to 56. We cannot go only, because that is different category altogether. But we can go up to 50 qualities. Because Brahma is up to 50. So he is in our category in that sense. So somebody
Mataji,
who has done his pious quality so high, we can become Brahma also, technically. Technically, we can become Brahma also, like that. But we cannot go beyond that, because we are Jiva Tattvas.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Brahma is created by Lord Vishnu. Is it not,
Yes.
Mataji? And
Yes.
then Vishnu, Shiva is created by Brahma. Am I correct?
Not like that.
Okay.
Not like that. Like that
Okay.
means because that Rudra you are telling.
Yes.
Rudra. In that, yeah, see, they means how to tell is when they have to appear in this, universe, no? That is the way they have appeared. But otherwise, they are the means it's Lord's material. Here they have written, no, the incarnations of material qualities.
So can we call them expansions of Lord to them, Brahma and Shiva? No.
Incarnations of the material qualities, we cannot call like that, because expansions are Mahavishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu.
Yes.
Mansi Mataji is there? Mansi Mataji, you are there? No. Who is here? Who is ICF forum? Okay.
I think it was Sitarani Mataji.
Sitarani Mataji, but nobody is there right now. Okay, let's see if they see.
Okay, Mataji. We say in Gunatara, Brahma is for Srushti, Shiva is for Pralaya. So there, can we take them in all the three at the same level? Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva there in the Gunatara? No, I think.
We can consider as Gunavataras, we can say. As Gunavataras, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, we can say. But exactly their position
they are different.
Is different. Okay. In that position, if you see, then top pose is Vishnu. And
that's
Brahma
what.
Is Shiva is in between.
Yes. Shiva is in between or below Brahma, Mataji?
No, we cannot say below Brahma, because Brahma is living entity. Pure living entity.
Oh, they say Narada Muni, Brahma created this, Narada and other, four Kumaras, they did not accept to bring child's issues. So at that time only Shiva came, I think, right? Am I right?
From his forehead he came like that.
Yes.
That is there, but that is the way he has appeared.
Okay.
But we cannot say that he is below Brahma. Like.
Okay.
So see, now if you see the Guna Tattvas, na, goodness is topmost, passion is second, ignorance is least. Correct, na?
Yes.
So and Lord Shiva is in charge of mode of ignorance.
Ignorance, yes.
So we cannot put him like he is mode of ignorance. Like that we cannot tell. He is in charge of mode of ignorance, like that. So he's endowed by that quality because he has to perform that service, na? Like that.
Yes.
On this we will get clarification. Let's see.
Okay, Mataji. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Arun Prabhu, you're okay?
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, just one more thing I just wanted to ask, because about the Brahma, because we have also heard like Krishna mentions, when there is no living entity who is eligible to become Brahma or Indra, because Brahma is a position and Indra is also a position, then
Yeah.
Lord himself takes that Brahma position or Indra position.
Yes.
So when we say like these Gunavataras are the Brahma, or maybe Shiva or Vishnu, then could it be the case, consider that when Lord himself takes the position of the Brahma, then he is like Brahma, incarnation of the Lord, as coming as Brahma, becoming Brahma.
It is something like president taking over the rule on the state, something like that. So he still remains Vishnu only. It's just that he's doing that service also like that. He does not become Brahma. He does not become Brahma. It is like sometimes the chief ministers are not, the president takes over the role. No? That time the president does not become chief minister, but he's taking care of that state. Something like that.
So is it, Mataji, is it his incarnation which takes over, or is it the Lord himself which takes over? Because in the material world, these are all mainly expansions or the incarnations that
Yeah.
we see, except Krishna coming or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming himself as. But all other we see as in either incarnations or plenary portion of expansions, or plenary portion of expansions.
Okay, correct. So when he takes that particular post, what is he exactly? Is an incarnation or
Yes.
uh, actually in our purpose today only it will come, but this point we can clarify and we'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
I'll remember and I'll try to clarify. Okay, we'll go further now. Let's see. It will come in one of the purports. It will come now. Sumati Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
रुद्र रूपधारी करे जगत संहारा सृष्टि स्थिति प्रलय हाया इच्छाया याहारा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Lord in his form of Rudra, Lord Shiva, brings about the dissolution of this material creation. In other words, only by his will are there creation, maintenance and dissolution of the whole cosmic manifestation.
His will is this his is the Supreme Lord, and his form of Rudra. See, it is considered his form only, but that form is touched by the material qualities. That is his form only. See, they are his energies only. So the Supreme Lord in his form of Rudra is endowed by the mode of ignorance, and he is responsible for the dissolution. In other words, only by his will there are creation made. This is by the Supreme Lord, not by Shiva, like that. Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam Mataji.
Dandavat.
291 shloka. It has gone up, Mataji.
No?
Brahma Vishnu Shiva Tan Raghuna Avatara Srishti Sriti Pralayera Tenara Adhikara. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva are his three incarnations of the material qualities, creation, maintenance and destruction respectively, are under the charge of these three personalities. Haribol.
So now here see, now they have told are his three incarnations of the material qualities. That is, mode of goodness is handled by Lord Vishnu. But it is also told that Lord Vishnu is handling mode of goodness, but he is not touched particularly. But Brahma and Shiva are. We will see in the further inca. This particular things I'll clarify again. But we'll see what Prabhupada says ahead. Arun Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hiranye garbha antaryami garbo dakshai sahasra shisha adi kari vede yande gai. Translation by Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Garbhodaksha Vishnu, known within the universe as Hiranyagarbha and the Antaryami or Super Soul, is glorified in the Vedic hymns, beginning with the hymn that starts with the word Sahasra Shirsha. Hare Krishna.
See, now this Garbhodaksha Vishnu is laying on the bed of Ananta Sesha, and from his navel the lotus flower comes and Brahma, and we heard all that. Now this Garbhodaksha also expands himself into each and every living entity, and that he is the Paramatma in our heart, the super soul. And that we called as Kshirodaksha Vishnu, that we will know now. But no, he is also known as Hiranyagarbha, Antaryami, super soul. Paramatma is he who expands himself further into the hearts of every living entity. Padmini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Ekta Dvitiya Purusha Brahmandera Ishvara Mayara Ashrayahaya Tabumaya Para. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This second personality of Godhead, known as Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, is the master of each and every universe and the shelter of the external energy. Nonetheless, he remains beyond the touch of the external energy. Thank you, Mataji.
Mahavishnu is the lord of all the universes, and Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the master of each and every universe. Uma Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tritiya Purusha Vishnu Guna Avatara Dui Avatara Pitara Ganana Tanhara. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The third expansion of Vishnu is Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, who is the incarnation of the quality of goodness. He is to be counted within both types of incarnations, Purusha avatars and Guna avatars.
Yeah, so see, like what Arun Prabhuji asked is here correct. So Purusha avatars, in that respect, he is untouched. Guna avatars, he performs the service of being in the mode of goodness. So while performing the service, see, as far as I understand, Vishnu is never touched by any of the modes. So he performs the activity of maintenance because in this way, he's endowed by the quality of goodness. His personification of mode of goodness. So third, that is Kshirodaksha Vishnu, and this Vishnu is like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. When we call this Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu actually.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I just recall something. Even a jailer, when he's in the jail, he does not belong to the jail, even though he's inside the jail.
He is just taking care.
Care.
Exactly like that. So when we are talking Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, it is this Vishnu, the Kshirodaksha Vishnu, who is endowed by the maintenance service. So point is, when we talk about Krishna and Vishnu, there is so much gap, because plenary portion of the plenary portion is Mahavishnu, then we have Garbhodaksha Vishnu, then we have Kshirodaksha. That Vishnu is this Vishnu, which we call Vishnu, when we call, no, this particular Vishnu. That also Prabhupada tells in further. This is discussion between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, like that. Next, Uma Devi Mataji.
Finish Mataji. I read.
Okay, remove your hand.
Can I read Mataji?
Yes, Shobha Mataji. Yes.
295. Hare Krishna. Viratvyasti jivera temho antaryami shirodaga shayi temho palana karta swami. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shirodaka Swami Sai Vishnu is the universal form of the Lord and is a super soul within every living entity. He is known as Shirodaka Sai because he is the Lord who lies on the ocean of milk. He is the maintainer and master of the universe.
He is the maintainer and master also they call here, but otherwise we just heard that Garbhodaksha Vishnu is the superior for all the universes, and within each and every living entity, Lord appears like Kshirodaksha Vishnu, and he is the one who actually, he has the service of maintaining the universe. So only is endowed by the mode of maintenance, goodness. His maintainer and master also they mention here. But Lalita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purushavatara Eikailum Nirupana Lilavatara Ebeshuna Sanatana. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. For Sanatana, I have definitely described the three Purusha avatars of Vishnu. Now please hear from me about the past tense incarnations. Right.
So now we are going to talk about the Lila avatars. And we know in Srimad Bhagavatam it is told that Lord's Lila avatars are unlimited. It is told that it is like the waves in an ocean and nobody can count the waves in the ocean. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third chapter, in the first canto, only 22 incarnations are told. It is not that it's only 22 like that. It is that unlimited of that primary incarnation is simply mentioned, but otherwise it is like the waves in an ocean. Next, Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Leelavatara gone up Mataji. Okay. Leelavatara Krishnera na Leelavatara Krishnera Nayaya Ganana Pradhana Kariya Kahi Digdarashana. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. No one can count the innumerable pastime incarnations of Lord Krishna, but I shall describe the principal ones. Hare Krishna.
Or Chaitanya is telling. Uma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Matsya Kurma Raghunatha Nrisimha Vamana Varahati Lekayandra Nayaya Ganana. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Some of the pastimes incarnations are the fish incarnation, the tortoise incarnation, Lord Ramachandra, Lord Nrisimha, Lord Vamana, and Lord Varaha. There is no end to them.
Like these are all the Leela avatars. We know the Dashavatara we know, no? That is this. Padmini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, you can
Yes,
read
yes.
translation also only.
Okay, Mataji. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. O Lord of the universe, best of the Yadu dynasty, we are offering our prayers unto you mainly to diminish the heavy burden of the universe. Indeed, you diminished this burden formerly by incarnating in the form of a fish, a horse, Haigriva, a tortoise, a lion, Lord Nrsimha, a boar, Lord Varaha, and a swan. You also incarnated as Lord Ramachandra, Parashurama, and Vamana, the dwarf. You have always protected us demigods and the universe in this way. Now please continue. This is quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.4. Haribol Mataji.
Yeah, this second chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam of the 10th canto is prayers by the demigods. What happens is because there was too much atrocities of Kamsa, then all these demigods they run to Brahma and they go to the milk ocean, the ocean shores of the milk ocean, and then they offer the prayers. That's a big chapter in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So there they glorify the Lord, and in the glorification they tell this, and they say that now you please come down to protect us. So then our Krishna avatar happens. You wanted to read this? Matsasvakachapan Rasimha Varaha. I don't know the tune.
You please read Mataji.
Okay, no, 300. Next one. Okay, who wants this 300? Yes, Lalita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Leelavatare Kailo Digdarashana Gunavatara Re Ebe Shuna Vivarana. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. I have given a few examples of incarnations. Now I will describe the Guna Avtaras, the incarnations of the material qualities. Please listen. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sudha Mataji.
ब्रह्मा विष्णु शिवा तीन गुण अवतारा त्रिगुण अंगीकारी करे सृष्टि आदि व्यवहार. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. There are three functions within this material world. Everything here is created, everything is maintained for some time, and everything is finally dissolved. The Lord therefore incarnates himself as a controller of the three qualities, Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, and Tamo Guna, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Thus, the transactions of the material world take place. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So these functions of this material world, everything has to be created, then maintained, and then has to be destroyed. So that is possible by the incarnations of the Lord. In that sense, Brahma is an incarnation. So which are means when we technically call, he comes to living entity category, but otherwise as a service. So in that terminology, he is called as the Lord's incarnations, like that. So they are called as Lord's incarnations because it's a very heavy duty to be performed, very important duty to be performed. Arun Gupta Prabhu.
Bhakti Mishra Krita Punye Kona Jivo Tatma Rajo Gune Vibhavita Kari Tanramana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because of his past pious activities mixed with devotional service, the first-class living entity is influenced by the mode of passion within his mind.
So
Hare
this we are talking about Brahma. Padmini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। गर्भोदक साई द्वारा शक्ति संचारे व्यस्ति सृष्टि करे कृष्णा ब्रह्म रूपाधारी। Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Such a devotee is empowered by Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. In this way, an incarnation of Krishna in the form of Brahma engineers the total creation of the universe.
See, understood. So who was asking that question? Incarnation we call, no? See, it is called like incarnation, but previously we heard, no, he's a topmost living entity. So technically he comes in the living entity, but because he's been endowed with such a kind of service, he is considered as a incarnation of the Lord, like that.
Okay, Mataji, thank you.
Still we can get clarification, but this is my understanding. Read the purport also.
In the Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, Purushavatara expansion of Lord Vishnu accepts the material modes Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna and thus incarnates as Lord Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva. These are the incarnations of the material qualities. Among the many superior living entities qualified with pious activities and devotional service, one called Lord Brahma is infused with the quality of passion by the supreme will of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Thus, Lord Brahma becomes the incarnation of the creative energy of the Lord.
So when here it is told that the incarnations of material qualities are infused and they become Lord Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva. Now I will clarify to you this Vishnu when we are talking, is he also touched by the material quality of goodness, like that? The point is, when it comes to goodness as such, it is a material quality. And we talk that Vishnu is transcendental. So, but when he comes as a maintainer, is he being touched by the mode of goodness? That one thing I'll clarify. And what was another Arun Gupta Prabhu's question was, what was that another question? What was
about
the
the
question?
Brahma Mataji, about the Brahma, when Lord takes incarnation, when Lord incarnate comes into the position of Brahma.
Yes. Is he an incarnation or an expansion, like that was?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
This who wants to read? Bhaswan, Yatashma, this Govinda praise. Uma Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
बाष्पान्यतात्मसकलेषु निजेषु तेजः श्रियं कियत्र कथयत्यपि तत्त्वत्र ब्रह्माय एष जगदण्डविधानकर्ता गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The sun manifests its brilliance in a gem, although it is a stone. Similarly, the original personality of Godhead, Govinda, manifests his special power in a pious living entity. That the living entity becomes a Brahma and manages the affairs of the universe. Let me worship Govinda, the original personality of Godhead.
So this is here, so it is very clear that he manifests his special power in a pious living entity, and so that living entity becomes Brahma. So it is termed as an incarnation of Vishnu, like that. 305. Yeah, Lalita Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. कोना कल्पे यदि योग्य जीवन ही पाया, आपने ईश्वर तबे अंशे ब्रह्म हया. Translation by Jivan Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If in a kalpa, a suitable living entity is not available to take charge of Brahma's post, the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself personally expands and becomes Lord Brahma.
So here it is clearly told he expands as Brahma. So the question is, when he expands as Brahma means he performs the service of Brahma, but he does not become Brahma is what my understanding is. That one thing I'll clarify. That he expands as Brahma means it is not that he becomes one Brahma, but he expands and does the service of Brahma. Like what Brahma was doing, he will take care of all that creation and all that is what I understand. Correct. So that thing we have to clarify, no, Arun Gupta Prabhuji?
Yeah, Mataji. Same thing is given in Bhagavatam also in first canto. I read that.
Yeah, okay, here it is. Purport. Who was reading Purport? Lalita Mataji, no? Who was reading the...
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Purport by Divine Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One day of Brahma consists of 4 yugas multiplied 1,000 times, or according to solar calculations, that is 4320 some years. Okay, and such also is the duration of his night. 1 year of Brahma's life consists of 360 such days and nights, and Brahma lives for 100 such years. Such is the life of a Brahma.
This we discussed already. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Yeah.
Yasyangri pankaj rajo akila lokapalair Mauli uttamai dhritam upasita tirtha tirtam Brahma bhavoham api yasya kala kalaya Shirichodvahe macha chiramasya nripa sanam kwa. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What is the value of a throne to Lord Krishna? The masters of the various planetary systems accept the dust of his lotus feet on their crowned heads. That dust makes the holy places sacred, and even Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lakshmi, and I myself, who are all portions of his plenary portion, eternally carry that dust on our heads. Purport. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.68.37. When the Kauravas flattered Baladeva so that he would become their ally and spoke ill of Sri Krishna, Lord Baladeva became angry and spoke this verse. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So this is glorification of Lord Krishna, which Balaram speaks. Arun Gupta Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Nijamsha kalaya Krishna tamo gunangikari samhara arthe maya sange rudra rupa dhari. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, expands a portion of his plenary portion and, accepting the association of the material mode of ignorance, assumes the form of Rudra to dissolve the
So
cosmic
when
universe.
he is touched by the mode of ignorance, he becomes Rudra. That time he is not Vishnu. Vishnu means not transcendent. So he accepts that material quality, expansion of his expansion, and becomes Rudra. Like. Right.
Purport. This is a description of the Rudra form, which is another expansion of Krishna. Only Vishnu Murtis are expansions of the Krishna personal and plenary portions. Mahavishnu, who lies on the causal ocean, is an expansion of Shankarshan. When Garbhodakshay Vishnu accepts the material modes of the nature for the purpose of dissolving the cosmic manifestation, his form is called Rudra. As already explained, Lord Vishnu is the controller of Maya. How then can he be associated with Maya? The conclusion is that the incarnation of Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma indicates the absence of the supreme power of the Vishnu. When the supreme power is not there, it is possible to associate with Maya, the external energy. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are to be considered creations of Maya.
So clear, na? So that part is clear.
Yes, Madam, this part is clear.
Correct. Na? So this one more we'll read for today. Now Kishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavats.
माया संगे विकारी रुद्र भिन्न 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 रूपा जीवा तत्व नाहे कृष्णेरा स्वरूपा. ट्रांसलेशन बाय शिला प्रभुपाद की जय. Rudra, Lord Shiva, has various forms which are the transformation brought about by association with Maya. Although Rudra is not on a level with the Jiva Tattvas, he still cannot be considered a personal expansion of Lord Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rudra is simultaneously one with and different from the Vishnu Tattva. Due to his association with Maya, he is different from the Vishnu Tattva, but at the same time, he is an expansion of Krishna's personal form. The situation is called Beda Beda Tattva or Achintya Beda Tattva, simultaneously one and different. Hare Krishna
Say
Mataji.
that because he has that highest qualities like Vishnu, so he is one with Vishnu, but he is touched by the material qualities, so he is different. So Achintya Bheda, one and different. So in further many shlokas, they will explain exactly the position of Lord Shiva, how he is much higher, but we cannot consider him as one of the Vishnu Tattvas, like that. So that more in detail will come in the following shlokas. For today, we will stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Let me see who is there.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Who is ICF forum now? No. Host. Okay, maybe I will only close it.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Should I end the meeting?
You, Mansi Mataji. Who
Yes,
is there?
Mataji.
Who?
Mansi here, Mataji.
Mansi, na? Mataji, we had
Yes,
a question.
Mataji.
We had a question. I was looking for you.
Tell me, Mataji.
Yeah. See, two things. First thing is, we say that Lord Vishnu is always transcendental to the modes of material nature. Correct, na? I can't hear you.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, he's always transcendental. So he's never touched by the modes of material nature. Correct, na? So,
Yes, Mataji.
But then it is told that Lord Vishnu incarnates himself for the purpose of creation, maintenance, and dissolution. So, as for creation, he incarnates as Brahma, then for annihilation as Shiva, and for maintenance as Vishnu. Correct, no? Garbho, the Dakshay Vishnu. He expands himself. So, when we call, then the positions of Brahma and Shiva are clear. And about Shiva, it is more clear further. That is, Brahma is technically a living entity only, but is endowed with that kind of a material quality of passion for purpose of creation. So when we say that is passion and ignorance, but when we call about Lord Vishnu, that is endowed with the quality of goodness for the purpose of maintenance. So at that time, still that Vishnu is transcendental to the mode of material modes, like that only, no? Or he's touched by the, he's never touched by the mode of goodness also, correct, no?
Yes, Mataji. He's just governing that mode, but he's not touched by the mode.
That is one answer. Second one is, we had in two verses, even you would have heard that sometimes this Brahma, Indra, they're all foes. And if there is not a qualified living entity to take the position of Brahma, Lord expands himself as Brahma, like that. So expands himself means he takes care of the services done by Brahma with respect to creation, like that, or he comes as an incarnation, like that.
I think Mataji, he comes as an incarnation as Brahma in that particular kalpa. If there is no living entity, then he will expand as
That
Brahma.
was the question
That's
of
what I
Arun Gupta
understand.
Prabhuji. That was the question of Arun Gupta Prabhuji. Maybe little more you can tomorrow you can clarify that. Tomorrow you are taking the class, no?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, I'll
That
check
was
on
his
that,
question.
Mataji.
So Arun Gupta Prabhuji, tomorrow she will clarify on that part, okay? Because I told him that it is more of taking charge of the service of what Brahma was doing rather than he becoming Brahma.
I'll clarify that point, Mataji, in tomorrow's
Yes,
class.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure,
Thank you
Mataji.
very
Thank you.
much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Mataji,
Mataji.
with your permission, can I
Yes,
end the meeting?
yes, we are leaving. Yes, yes.
Okay.